Hello everyone and welcome back to another Reddit Reads. This one reads, am I the a-hole for not letting a kid eat my food? The other day I was at the mall with my boyfriend and our two kids. Female 5, male 6. We were sitting eating a bag of roasted chestnuts when this kid around 10 years old starts hovering around us. Now, I admit I'm not the biggest fan of any kid that doesn't belong to me, so this alone was already annoying me slightly, but I still smiled to him. Then he calls my son over and whispers in his ear, and I knew it was about the chestnuts. My son nods yes, and the boy comes up to me and reaches for a chestnut. I moved a bag and said, no, you have to go ask your parents. My boyfriend got upset, called me rude, and handed a chestnut to the boy. The boy leaves, and I tell my boyfriend he shouldn't have done that. You don't just give food to a strange kid. I agree with that. Allergies. You never know. The boy then hovers back around us, and without a word, snatches 2 chestnuts from the bag that my boyfriend was now holding. I stand up and said very firmly, sorry, but you can't take our stuff like that. Go to your parents. Put them back and ran off. I think the kid had no education, and I wasn't gonna let my kids think it's okay to accept anything from strangers, or that it's okay to be pressured into sharing. My boyfriend doesn't agree and thinks the kid trusted us because we had kids ourselves. He thinks I was just selfish. I think what they mean by no education is no social boundaries and being taught strange danger and stuff like that. The no education bit was a bit like, what? I think they've kind of worded that a bit wrong there, straight off the bat. Honestly, I'm on OP's side, straight off the bat. 1, you don't know about allergies. You said the kid was around 10 years old. The kid should probably know if they have allergies and stuff, but still, they could never have had chestnuts in their life and they could be allergic, they just don't know. You just shouldn't be giving food to strangers anyway, especially kids. I agree with that. And then the fact that the kid snatched the bag, that's just rude. That's just not good social behavior in public and around strangers. You just don't do that. So I do agree with what I'm hoping they're trying to say is that the kid hasn't been taught appropriate social behavior in public and stuff like that you don't just snatch food from strangers and stuff like that. I think the boyfriend is a little bit too chill, especially after the kid snatched the bag. That should have been okay, yeah, this is not good. Because it's not even they were no, you're not having any. They were just go ask your parents. I think that's reasonable. I think that's perfectly reasonable. If the kid had gone to the parents, talked to them, and the parents came over and were oh yeah, he just loves chestnuts, valid, fair. They didn't just instantly go, no, go away. They were go ask your parents. Because, the parents, I don't know, you don't know how the parents are going to react. Maybe, by the looks of it, or sounds of it, the parents didn't react at all. I don't know, where were the parents? But I'm actually on OP's side. I don't think they were rude to the child at all. I think they were trying to be safe, and they just didn't like the fact that their boundaries were being disrespected. Clearly the kid didn't have manners. Not the a-hole, your boyfriend could have killed the kid. How does your boyfriend know the kid is not allergic to nuts? Absolutely never give food to kids without talking to parents first. Exactly. That is the number one thing that I thought of when it came to, food. You have no idea about this kid's allergies. At 10 years old, I would expect them to know and have been taught if they have allergies. But you just never know. Not the a-hole. Definitely, that's just basic common sense. You never know what allergies a kid has. Yep, it's not being overprotective, it's just responsible. One can't assume every kid can safely eat the same thing. Exactly. Not the a-hole, especially since it was nuts, reckless of your boyfriend. Oh, OP's here. I told him that. He said he didn't think about that, but that I was still too harsh to tell him to go away. You have to go ask your parents is exactly the right response. My kids would graze on just about anything given half a chance. I'd be annoyed if a random stranger gave them something to eat. Exactly. Not the a-hole, you have no idea if this kid might be allergic, or if his parents want him having this food. It's also dangerous that this boy thinks it's okay to take things from strangers. I would have handled it by asking him to take to his parents, and maybe giving one with their approval as a lesson to everyone, but you certainly were not in the wrong for simply saying no. Yeah. So like everybody's just like allergies. Allergies, like hello? Your boyfriend's behavior is giving me the ick. He was nasty towards you and defensive and proud of his ignorance. Yeah, I do feel like the boyfriend was a bit like, yo, have you put any thought into this? Not allergies. Not allergies. Irresponsible parents and your boyfriend. Allergy reactions kill. I thought I said my kid, my answer might have been different, but some random kid? Absolutely not the a-hole. Exactly the same. What if he's allergic? Whose kid is this? Why is he stealing from strangers? Boyfriend needs therapy. There's a whole bunch of things happening there, but this is still strange to me. Wait, why does my boyfriend need therapy? He needs therapy to figure out why he makes the ugliest possible assumptions about the motives and choices of the woman he literally chose to have 2 kids with. Selfish would mean rather than assuming that you have good reasons for not wanting to give kid your food. And 2, why he's more worried about a child he doesn't even know, thinking he's mean, than he is about being a responsible adult and thinking about the potential consequences of giving food to that kid. Or why it's problematic that you're approaching strange adults and trying to help themselves to food at all. 10 is way too old to be doing that. Boyfriend is a father of 2 and yet seems to have no common sense and very concerning priorities, as well as a very unpleasant view of you. Yeah, I totally get your point. Totally in the wrong here. Call you rude in front of your children for being a responsible adult, so unacceptable. You're right, I did tell him that about what if it had been our kids, but he had no answer. That's a weird reaction. Literally all the comments are just allergies, allergies, allergies. 100%. Yeah, it literally all about allergies. So overall, not the a-hole. I completely agree with that reaction. I don't think you were rude or selfish in the slightest. I think the kid was rude and definitely needs to be taught some manners. Whereas the parents in this equation, you know, like clearly they weren't like close enough, because I'm sure there would have been like some sort of conversation that would have been mentioned if the parents were around, you know. Just straight away I'm gonna agree with all the comments. Allergies. You can't give food to strangers in general. Like, not even just kids, just you have to know about allergies and stuff. Like, it's such a strange reaction on the boyfriend's part, but I'm gonna say not the a-hole. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this one? I hope you have enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.